The Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry is only one of the award-giving bodies, aside from Conrad Adenauer, of the ILG, and aside from the Asian Institute of Management. The Philippine Chamber also gives awards and recognition without cash. Without cash. Just a proud emblem and logo that you can use, stamp that you are a business-friendly LGU. By the way, you cannot buy this online. It is a very reputable award for any LGU, town, city, or province that we give every year during our national conference of all the PCCI, sometime in the third week of October, usually in Manila Hotel, because they subsidize our convention heavily by whoever the President of the Republic is. But this is just a short topic. Why is it important for businesses that the LGU is friendly? Why is it important? That is to make life of the businessman easy, right? And normally in an ordinary course of business in a day, it is the micro and small and medium enterprise, or the cottage industries, if you want me to say, or the farmer cooperatives that complains. The bigger business people normally can take care of themselves. I may be right, 99%, only 1% complains. Therefore, for large enterprises, what we request from the LGU is, don't bother us. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right? But for smaller or micro enterprises, there's a lot of things that they would require or appreciate or request from the LGUs. So many studies have been made, even those funded by World Bank, that the Philippines is lagging behind. L-A-G-I-N-G. Parating behind. L-A-G-G-I-N-G. Lagging behind other developing countries in terms of making the systems and procedures, the processes, the list of requirements. In starting a business in a certain locality, we are always behind schedule, behind being global, behind everything and anything. Papayag ba kayo doon? Siyempre, hindi, di ba? If my memory makes me right, it is Muntinlupa, who is one of the, if not the first LGU in this country, to make things online, to make things perfect. In Muntinlupa, 15, 20 years ago, if you're paying your local tax, and it took them more than 15 minutes, your tax is free. In Muntinlupa, 15, 20 years ago. Today, it is so quick. In fact, the trend right now, today, is for online payments. Right? So your foreign-based kababayans can pay your taxes online. You know what's the difficulty? The rebate system in the credit card system. The credit card company gets 6% rebate, and you will not allow that. Right? Anyway, going back here, prepared by Edwin. It takes a lot of procedures, it takes a lot of time, like about two months, to start a business. But why is it that in Malaysia, for example, an Ecozone Enterprises that locates in Malaysia takes about a week to register and to start a business, while in the Philippines it takes about a month? Why? Because we are so tedious, judicious, religious, and all the Jews in requiring all enabling acts pertinent to the business operation. Say, well, I want to start a business, and where do I start? Where do I begin? You know, just like the love story. If you want to locate an Ecozone Enterprise, the flyers and the logos of DTI, the Board of Investments, and PESA, it's a one-stop shop. True, it doesn't stop there. You have to go there, and they will process everything to you. Fine. But this agency will require you to have your environmental clearance, and without your environmental clearance, it will take you from Adam and Eve again, from another agency.
And without that, you take a lot of endorsements from LGU, etc., etc. So even if the law says that any enterprise that will register with the Board of Investments should take only 21 days to register, the 21 days clock meter will not start ticking until your documents is complete. Right? We are very judicious. We are very sincere in implementing. Therefore, we are too regulatory. In Malaysia, as far as my example is concerned, you want to go business? Okay, approve. Boom, approve. You submit later on your requirements. Later you submit. Ganun yun. Why am I saying that? I went there. I inquired myself when I was still in DTI. Well, why these people in ASEAN keep on bragging and they're so mayabang? So it depends on how you look at it. Diba? Question. After getting all the national agency requirements, this enterprise will go to the LGU. What is the set of procedures? In the application for mayor's permit, you have 1 meter long of requirements, right? I didn't exaggerate earlier. 1 inch long, thick of requirements. You have to buy the fire extinguisher here. You cannot buy it outside. You have to buy it here. Why are you guys laughing? Are you telling the truth or not? You need to submit a bond. That bond should be from an accredited insurance company, and you can find it list here in this folder. Pamisa-misa namin, hindi pa natin ganun. Let's open up. Let's unfreeze. Diba? Let's make things easy, so that investments, whether small or big, will go to our place. That's the whole bottom line. That's the whole bottom line. Okay? Sige po. We want to give awards and recognition to local government units, the government unit itself, not necessarily. Of course, it's coincidental. It's because of the leadership of the mayor. That promotes governance, that demonstrates outstanding efforts in instituting good governance reforms, and promotes trade and investments, domestic trade or international trade and investments. That would ensure accountability, transparency, and efficiency. Lahat ng magagandang pakinggan, di ba? Pwede i-imagine nyo na yan. The whole bottom line I'm gonna tell is that so that businesses would propagate in your locality, whether you are in Kalimantan or kung saan man kayo, di ba? There is a group before in Mindanao, Kasalta Bayami. They would like to copy Calabarzon. So I guess these are a group of towns and yeah, good initiative, sabi ko. Where are you from? We are from somewhere in Bistik. Good initiative, sabi ko. Good luck. Too far away. Anyway, the award process is very simple. You can, well, of course, you must have a novel project, right? Not an idea, but a good project that demonstrates what I said earlier. It can be an activity, it can be an improvement of a facility inside the municipal hall. It could be improving a system, which examples I would give you later on. You can either submit that directly. Siyempre, minsan, makapal din naman tayo. Gusto natin ma-recognize, we can do that. Or another organization, not necessarily the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Any organization can submit. By the way, the world is now linked by the internet, so don't ask for hard copies. These are downloadable between. You can email the PCCI, and these are all downloadable forms, not accountable forms. And we convene the board of judges before the award system, and to be able to validate, the secretariat validates the inputs, and we invite the local government to present, not necessarily to defend, but the committee or the board of judges validates what has been claimed and measure whether those things claimed to be a good really reflects what the local businesses do expect and require. See nga. Sige, so what are the elements that we would like to see? In terms of good governance, we'd like to see efforts in encouraging trade and investments in the respective localities. In terms of quality or customer service or public-private partnership. Yeah, quality customer service. I visited one small town, well, big inland area, but small in terms of urbanization. Montalban, Rizal. Used to be Montalban, now called Rodriguez. I am so impressed with the way the City Hall was reconfigured. Not City Hall, the Municipal Hall. It doesn't look like a Municipal Hall. It looks like a business center. At the ground level, you see their business units. In other words, every service that anybody would expect when he steps inside the Municipal Hall is there. I want to get a cedula, go to that business unit. I want to pay my taxes, you go to this. I want to get a passport. I'm not kidding. I want to apply for a passport. They have the FA inside. I want to pay and update my SSS and my... It's there. It's there. This is a municipal hall. I'm not talking of a Bayan Center. Any government office is there. When I say business unit, it is self-regulating. That office there should earn all the overhead of that business unit, including salaries and benefits of everybody. And what is so surprising is that in that town, popular for basura, diba? Montalban is popular as a downside of Metro Manila, sad to say, and also popular for urban squatters, right? Or maybe tell me that I am not politically correct. I would say, okay, the socially displaced, the homeless, the informal sector, squatter pa rin ang tawag doon. They have an office for this sector. And if you are an informal sector, you want services from the government, you go to that office and you pay to register. It's not free. You pay, I think, 20 pesos or 30 pesos. You're listed in the registry. The municipality will know exactly where you are. Then you can avail for free education, free primary health care, etc. That's how the municipality is run. Maganda, di ba? Maganda. Magaling. Para sa akin, ewan ko para sa iba. As far as I'm concerned, it's a innovation. I don't even know if they're an award here, are they, Edwin? Yeah. They are? I don't even know. It's an innovation, it's a brave and bold step away from the traditional local government management in a certain locality. Right? They have regulated the jeepney and the FX stations, that all these stations should not end up in a mall. Why? Because all the workers, the employees will just spend everything in that mall. Yeah, it's embodied in a municipal resolution as a policy. It's covered by a policy. Importante po ang policy. No? We start anything and everything with a policy. It's important. Sige, next. Competitiveness. The LG must demonstrate efforts in improving level of competitiveness. When you say competitiveness, it is your distinct advantage versus and vis-a-vis somebody else. If you are a big city and you are the transport hub, the airport is with you, you have a distinct advantage and you have to live by it and make advantage, make efforts that with that distinct infrastructure advantage to you or transportation, how can you grow faster vis-a-vis the rest? In other words, don't let Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific go to you. You must be able to convince them to go to you. Example, kanina, sabi natin, if you do your mathematics and if you do your business analysis instead of you, how do you now, well, you want to sell the cellular as raw material and you think you have added value to that. Think aloud. Take a further step. How do you invite now the Japanese factory to locate to your locality, to process the saluyot, to sell that elsewhere? Tama? you need a sound policy. Sound policy on investments. And many localities, since I was still in DTI 11 years ago, has this template of investment. It is not as simple as making exemptions in registration. It's not as simple as making your list from 10 to 5. It's not as simple as making them not paying mayor's permit for a year. It's not as simple as that. It's preparing the infrastructure of your locality. And infrastructure, of course, you know, is not road alone. Diba? It is not the traditional roads and bridges. Because today we also talk of digital infrastructure. Tama po? Which is not texting only. Diba? So, yung mga ganun kailangan, simulan natin yung policy. Let's have a policy review. When we want business to grow, we will, within the locality, let's look at policies. When we want business to come in, whether locals or foreigners to come into us, then let's do our homework. How do we compare ourselves with others and make ourselves more competitive? I had personally made some sessions with the province of Batangas to do that. But when we made this plan, the provincial development plan, Batangas province, we did not compare Batangas to Laguna. That's too myopic. We did not compare Batangas province to Subic or Cebu. That's too small a business world. We studied positioning Batangas vis-a-vis the rest of emerging, growing regions in the ASEAN. Across the Western Philippine Sea. I didn't say China Sea. I said Western Philippine Sea. Because that's our territory. I'm not in government, that's why I can talk this way. If I'm in government, I cannot talk this way. Ano pa? For a province, we said, you know, the leadership and dynamism through sustained efforts to promote trade and investments. When I was in DTI, I guess we were the first who made pauso for the rest of the governors to travel abroad for free. Parang ganyan, di ba? You join government and see the world. Right? Project Calabarzon. Calabarzon is not Calamba, Laguna, no. It's Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, and Quezon. Right? It started during the time of President Correntino. When you promote your province, it is better, we found out, it's better to promote a region so that there are choices where to go. And when you promote activities, you don't focus on tourism alone per se, because you will meet across several people who have varied interests. Therefore, you have also other sectors of your economy or other businesses that you would like to promote outside of your first priority. I agree with you, you must have a focus, you must have a strategic plan, you must have a priority, I agree with you. But you must have other options also that you want to promote. So promoting is not only going abroad. Promoting trade is not only attending trade fairs in Mega Mall. Because a trade fair in Mega Mall that is the most popular in town is not in the 5th floor selling area, but in the 1st to the 4th floor or in the cinema. Diba? Galing probinsya di magsuri-suri muna diha. Diba? Ganyan ang gawa. Anyway, trade, investments, tourism, quality management systems, these are the areas where we can do something at the local level if we want to bid out to the BCCI award. If you notice, I'm injecting a lot of things outside of the award system because I'm wearing my other hat when I was still back in government. I want you to improve. I want you as an LGU to develop. I want you as an LGU to be better than the rest, so that the rest mahatak mo pataas, di ba? Maggaya sa iyo. I always believe in Filipino characteristics. Gaya-gaya, okay yan. Gaya-gaya. Chismoso, okay din yan. Yung natutunan niya rito, i-chismis niya pag-uwi, ha? Para maraming matuto sa atin. Di ba? Public-private partnership. This is not the usual, what you read in papers that the government is promoting multi-billion projects for infrastructure. It's not that alone. It can just be a simple networking project between your LGU and a big big manufacturing company that's already there with you. You can always use the big brother, small brother concept, where a big company can get their suppliers and develop their suppliers from local enterprises within the town. Okay, or interlocal government relations, not only within, between, or among LGUs, but also with the national government agencies. So just to tell you that the smaller municipalities or cities does not compete with the larger ones. And to show you who are the awardees again, please. These are the, we have started this in 2007, but in 2008, the year after, we have decided, PCCI decided to break it up so that there will be a better competition among same classes of LGUs. So these are the samples of the LGUs that won. Mostly nasa Luzon, di ba? Mostly. So, well, aside from North Cotabato and Iloilo, Gimbal, Iloilo. So we would like to see in the list, and Bacolod, we would like to see in the list more and more LGUs, towns and cities coming from across the country, so that we can really showcase here good examples that should be emulated to the rest of the LGUs. And so I guess I'd like to end my presentation here, but I will be expecting more questions from you. Thank you. Libre po ang tanong. Mamaya may bayad.
Okay, nandyan pa po yung speaker natin para makapagtanong tayo. Tapos kung sino man yung hindi makapagsalita dito sa microphone, kindly give your small piece of paper para kami na lang po yung magbasa ang gusto ninyo.
Wala. Posible yun. Sayang naman ang biyahe niya. Yes, ma'am. Sige po. Just make yourself be heard from the ballroom.
Good afternoon, sir. Medyo nakakaiba naman itong tanong ko. It's about business friendly. Kasi yung sa amin po, I don't want to be friendly with this Bombay, yung napapautang ng 20% yung...
I agree with you. There are also Filipinos doing that business.
We're looking into a policy na sana gagawa kami para hindi sila makapasok sa aming area, sa municipality. But we have not come up with that yet. Pero
tawagan niyo Bureau of Immigration. You have to do that legally, di ba? Tawagan ng immigration, tingnan mo sila illegal o hindi. The same way that the Filipinos are being treated abroad.
Okay.
Tama? Huwag niyo namang ikukulong basta-basta, di ba? And they have many names. They're also called money.
Okay.
Money ningil. Diba? But don't stop there. Devise a micro-lending program, not necessarily by the LG. I don't believe that government should enter into these kinds of activities. Devise a micro-lending program through a strong cooperative that does micro-lending in your own locality. And there are many financing programs available at the national level. People's Credit Corporation. Meron silang money.
Actually, sir, we have a cooperative who lends money to the small, medium...
Para malamanan yun. Yun ang ibig sabihin.
Pero yung nakikita ko po, parang mas prefer pa rin ng mga tao mangutang sa Bombay.
Because ganito yun eh. On the operating side of it, you get the cash when you need it. Right? When the small businessman, like a market vendor, the Bilao Volante, would need the money now to buy something, and he or she will go to the co-op, it will take days. Natalo na siya ng ilang araw, samantalang kikitain naman niya yung para pambayad lang. Sabi ko, devise a mechanism that is operationally competitive. But kaya yun, and many examples can be cited. Maraming gumawa niyan at kaya niya. Sabihin nyo rin kababayan nyo, huwag asawahin niya mga Bombay na yan dahil nagiging legal. Diba?
Thank you po. So we'll call immigration.
No, I'm not against them. They're also good people. But ganyan lang talaga yan. Sige po, ano pa po? Marami pong National Federation of mga ganyan, card system, di ba? Tuloy sa pag-unlad, SBI. And the system is very good. It's fair. Tayong lahat dito mangungutang, isang account lang. Tayong lahat na magbabayad. Pag hindi ka nagbayad, ay, hahantingin ka namin. Kasi kaming lahat hindi makakautang. And tayong lahat weekly maghuhulog. Di ba? There are many mechanisms that are proven to be effective. Sige po. Hindi na yata pwedeng yung mga lakbay-aral, ano? Parang pinagbawal na. Di ba? Hindi naman masyado. Yung mga lakbay-aral, marami rin naman kayong natututunan, di ba? Marami rin kayong nakikilala. Marami rin kayong ginagaya. Pero minsan, yung ginagaya niyo, hindi pabor sa negosyante. Meron pong mga malalaking lungsod, there are big cities in the country that copied some local policies. For example, of Makati. Lapu-Lapu City, Taguig City, copied the policy of Makati that there is an employment permit for every worker. It's a 100 peso employment permit per year. And every worker working in that city gets a permit. In reality, the employee does not pay. It's the employer. The company pays for that. So it's an added cost for the business. And when I was talking to some officials of Lapu-Lapu City in Mactan, I told them candidly over a cup of coffee that yes, the city sometimes passes small things, 1/2 of 1%, something like that, just to illustrate. No? This may not be exactly true, but when you add up everything, it's also costly, and that doesn't make an LGU competitive. Correct? So if you want things to be simple, just lump everything. Diba? Isa lang, isang transaksyon, kukunti ang trabaho ng tao niyo. Ngayon, when you can do some research. I keep on telling some LG East executives, for the younger people, the yuppies, the young boys and girls, or young men and women in the organization, that seemingly wants their work to be done by computer and by internet, you ask them to research via internet, you ask them to benchmark with others, they will be happy working every day, but not using Facebook. They will be happy working every day. You say, today or this week, you research the same level of third-class municipalities within Mindanao, for example, and then by next month, we will elevate to the Visayas, and let's benchmark and compare ourselves in terms of projects and programs. Maraming LGUs po, nasa may website na, may mga portals na sila. So, I mean, the younger generations can be more productive if you really ask them to go inside their own world. Tayo, we will use whatever output that they will give us. Kailangan po, we have to be more creative and innovative. And if you notice, most of the national agencies are also going that way. Even DBM, for example, COA, they're a little more relaxed this time, not necessarily to traditional